What's up, guys? Welcome back to Blue Clouds TV. Yes, we're back again, everybody. Welcome back to the Football Minutes Live on Blue Clouds Media. We are back live again. International break, it's over, and it's all us again. English Premier League is back again. The guys have most of them have returned, and we have so much of news to break out, so much to talk about today. Absolutely enough of all this international bullshit. We're back to talk about proper football. Like I said, welcome back to Football Minutes, hosted by Nils Zion and Stephen G. Brought to you live at Blue Clouds Media. This is a show where we talk about all things football, from the biggest match to the latest news and transfer rumors. And today, Chelsea are back in the Premier League action this weekend as they travel to St. James's Park. St. James's Park to face Newcastle United. The Blues will build some momentum before the international break, but can they discover that from a new look starting 11 or starting trial? We'll talk about it. Join us here as we preview Chelsea's clash with Newcastle game on Saturday. We're going to look at the impact of the international break on both teams, Newcastle teams, the injury situations, the injury problems that it's hindering the football club. And also we're going to look at Chelsea's problems right now. They have some injury boost ahead of that game. But we'll see who is available and who is not. And also, Mr. Paul Mason's call for Pochettino to stick with his new look attacking trial, which is the Jackson up there with Cole Palmer in the right standing on the left hand side, and whatever he start with his starting 11. Wesley Fofana also returned to training after long-term injury. Former Chelsea boss surprises admit about his exit from Stamford Bridge a couple of years ago. If you guys remember, Mauricio Sarri left Chelsea to return back to his home country to work at Italy, and he has admitted that indeed it was a mistake for him leaving the football club. So this is what we have for you for the day, guys. Stick with us, do not go anywhere. Find yourself something to drink, and we'll be right back in a second. Welcome back again to Football Minutes, and I'm being joined here by my co-host, my wonderful Stephen G. I'm sure he's very happy that international break is over. Stephen G.
Yeah, how you doing? I'm so happy it's over. Back to the stuff that really matters.
Absolutely, the stuff that really matters. It would be nice if we can get some better manager for the Three Lions that will make Stephen perfect for Stephen.
I've been calling for this for about 2 years.
Yeah, I know Southgate. A lot of people don't like Southgate, but for now, we'll give him the credit. But let's see what he can do in the upcoming Euros. England have already qualified.
He can even beat North Macedonia.
Absolutely, everybody can beat Macedonia, right, Stephen?
Mm.
Uh, and also, Stephen, I know we haven't had so much. I mean, we haven't had much discussion regarding to some of the international games. I'm sure we did. I mean, off the camera, we did talk about Brazil Argentina game
Mhm.
that took over with so many injuries and lots that was at stake. I don't know why when these two teams meet, there's always I think most of the time has to be the Brazilian side, the Brazilian security always abusing the Argentine fans. What's your thoughts on those things before we move on to the main topic of the day, Steven?
Yeah, there was a lot of very horrible images coming out from I think it was essentially riot police attacking the Argentinian fans I think it was at the Maracanã. I think that was the stadium they were playing at in Brazil. The Brazilian riot police were attacking Argentinian fans. Um, People getting hit in the head and all sorts. So yeah, it's not very nice stuff to see. Messi walked the team off the pitch. He said afterwards that they essentially only played to calm down the situation, but they got the
Can you hear me?
result. Yeah, I can hear you now, but you were
Okay.
lagging on camera.
Okay. Sorry for
I
that.
literally just
Probably.
saw it as you went. Can you hear me? I looked to your camera and you were lagging.
Okay, thank you. But we're back again. I was saying that there was so many blood, that we saw with some horrific scenes on that day. But then I hope that the Brazilian FA or FIFA can get involved and get this thing, taken care of
Mhm.
before the return leg. I'm not so sure if there's a return leg that will
It
be
will be
played.
because it's qualification.
Okay. There will be a return before. I think the return leg will be is it Venezuela's, right? That's Brazil. I mean Argentina. Um, Argentina.
Mm-hmm.
That will be the return
I
leg
actually
because
don't
whatever
know
they
when
did.
the return game is, but I don't think Argentina really have a reputation like that. So I wouldn't
Yeah,
be worried for the Brazilian fans like I would be for the Argentinian fans when they go to Brazil.
that's right. So absolutely, this is what we're looking at. We're talking about some international game that passed by. And also Ukraine were being denied a penalty created. And I watched that penalty, Stephen. I don't know what is wrong with these officiating officials this time. It was a clear penalty for Modric, and they were not awarded that penalty. So it means that they have to face trying to qualify by playing a playoff, isn't it?
Yeah, they're now in the playoffs. I think if I'm not mistaken, I think Greece are in path C, which is the easier path. And I think I could be wrong. I think Ukraine are in path B. I'm trying to look it up now. Euros. This should take me 2 seconds. Here we go. Poland versus Estonia and Wales versus Finland is path A. Obviously, it's so these playoffs. There's three paths. There's path A, path B, path C. Each path is two semi-finals and a final. The winner of each final qualifies for the Euros and takes the last three places in the Euros. So Poland versus Estonia, Wales versus Finland, path A. One of those four teams will qualify. Israel versus Iceland, and then Bosnia Herzegovina versus Ukraine is path B. So one of them will qualify, one of them four. And then path C, Georgia versus Luxembourg and Greece versus Kazakhstan. One of them four will qualify as well. But yeah, I mean, it's got every chance Ukraine should qualify. There's no reason they shouldn't.
All right, Stephen, thank you very much. That's just by the way. Let me see what we have here. We have Phantom in the mini topics in the comment section. Phantom comments all there. Guys, if you have any question, you have any question related to any of the content or the topics that we talk about, you can drop your comments or your question there, and I'm willing to read that out for you. Anything regarding that, I'm not touching it. So yeah, thank you, each and every one of you joining the show. If you have a comment, you have anything regarding the show, lateness, yes, we have it from Phantom said late. Yeah, I'm late due to technical issues. Um, okay, so yeah. Prediction: Longstaff 2, Sterling 1. All right. Anything regarding the show? Yeah, I'll be.
Longstaff
Anything
might not
else? I
even
just
be able
highlight
to
them on the
play.
screen for you. Um, okay, so Stephen, big game coming on. Chelsea traveling to St
Mhm.
James Park to meet Newcastle United. Eddie Howe's team, who are struggling a lot with injuries right now. But before we go to the Newcastle side, Stephen, take us through the injury situation with Chelsea and injury boost players that are coming back. We're told that
Mhm.
Lavia and Kuku and Lavia will be ready for. Will be ready after the international break. What's the update on it?
Yeah, so um, basically, in the conference, Poch said that Nkunku and Lavia need to be assessed day to day. Both are in good condition, with Nkunku slightly ahead of Lavia in terms of their recovery, but neither are quite ready yet. Nkunku was doing some work with the group last week. He's not fully recovered enough for selection yet, though. So you'd expect in the next couple of games we'll probably see him. That last bit about probably expect seeing him next couple of games obviously didn't come from Poch, that's come from me. But yeah, obviously the club put out their usual game injury update um, day before the game update. So
Yeah, is it the
basically,
one on the screen?
everyone's continuing their rehab. Lavia and Nkunku obviously starting to do more work towards the group now. Nkunku's worked with the group. I don't know if Lavia has yet, but I'd imagine he'll start that within the next week or so, if he hasn't already. Fofana, he's back on the grass already. Somehow he is already back on the grass.
That's
Obviously
strange, isn't it?
individual, but don't think anybody expected that. I think we all thought he'll probably miss the whole season.
Well,
Um,
that was what the reports were saying, that he might
yeah.
probably miss the whole entire season and return back after
Mhm.
the end of 2022-23 season. But then
Yeah.
I don't know. Strange news. He's returning.
I think what it is that I think the reports initially were he'll be back about March, April, maybe not risked by the club to play any games, so that they would be able to build him up ready for the next season. But to already be on grass is kind of mad because that happened July. So that's July is the 7th month. So we're about 4 months on from where he done his injury, give or take.
Looks
Four
like it.
months
Looks
going
like it.
into the 5th month. Would you say?
Yes, it looks like it. Yeah, looks like 4 to 5 months, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. But I mean, they're not gonna rush him back. We've seen that already. So I'm not worried about him being rushed back. It's just nice to see he's already working on grass and stuff like that.
All right. So, Stephen, regarding what we're talking about, injury news reports coming from the club, and this is what we have on the screen, guys. If you're watching live, you can look at the screen and see what we have here. Trevor Chalobah continuing to undergo his rehabilitation program. Ben Chilwell continuing to undergo his rehabilitation program. Also, same thing with Kane Chukwemeka continuing to go undergo his rehabilitation program. Same thing with Wesley Fofana. But like I said, Fofana might retain. Probably before the season comes one. And real also Romeo Lavia progress with the reconditioning phase of his rehabilitation. So same thing with Christopher Nkuku progressing with the recondition phase of rehabilitation. And we did talk about this before the the international break started, and we said that Kunku might retain right after the international break. But report also came in that Nkunku might be ready, but then he did not make the trip to the St James's Park, to face Newcastle. So we might not see him this time, but I'm sure probably any other home game we'll see Nkunku featuring uh, for the first time in a long, long time after he got injured during preseason. Stephen.
Yeah, like I said, probably give it another couple of games. We've got Brighton next weekend, and then we've got Man United 3 days after that. So whether or not he makes the subs for any of that, I'm not sure. But I don't know. It depends. We'll have to see how it goes. But maybe Man U, maybe Everton will be on the bench, is my guess. Obviously, we don't see what happens behind the scenes. So obviously, he could end up being on the bench next weekend. But if I was to have a guess, I'd say probably not next weekend against Brighton. Maybe 3 days after that when we play United, or maybe that weekend where we play Everton as well. So that's sort of where I would be looking. So maybe not the next game, maybe the game after would probably be the first chance we'll have seeing him, if I was to have a guess. But yeah, I'm just glad that he's coming back. It's going to make our team stronger in terms of our depth and everything as well.
Mhm.
And yeah, he's a big player, so it's exciting, man. We're starting to get everyone back fit. There was a
It's
point where
exciting.
that list that we had before had about 10 players on it.
Mhm.
10, 12 players, like, it's ridiculous.
It's exciting. Steven just said, looking at the game that we played at St James's Park, I'm not so
Mm-hmm.
sure with the injuries that Newcastle is having right now. How can they compete with Chelsea? Do you think that Eddie Howe is going to mount a strategy to sit back just like the low block team or other teams have done against Chelsea in the beginning of the season, where they couldn't break those teams down? Do you think Eddie Howe will go that way, or do you think he's going to galvanize or motivate his Newcastle side to go toe to toe with Chelsea?
Um, I think they'll probably still come out because okay, they don't have depth, but they're at home. You'd expect them to come out even with the injuries they do have. It's the way they've been playing. I don't think they'll be sitting back. I wouldn't expect them to anyway. I'd be quite surprised, even with their 10 injuries or whatever it is, if they did sit back, because they still have the quality. So I'd be surprised. Isak, Eddie Howe didn't want to sort of give anything away on if he'll be available. But he did say that there's other players, the majority of players that's been spoken about before are long term, and he doesn't think they'll see them till January. Um,
Right.
Maybe a couple others will be back before that. Botman isn't going to play. He said we know we know his injury. They're unsure of a timeline at this moment. I think Botman, I'm trying to remember what it was. I got a feeling it was his back. I think they had two players with back injuries. I think he was one of them. Fabian Shah was a precaution rather than injury. Seemed good yesterday, so he'll probably be in their squad. Almiron has worked well since his hamstring, and Trippier's fine. And they've got to check Longstaff. So it looks like Almiron, Trippier, Shaw, and maybe Isak are back. But Longstaff, questionable, and then the list of about another 8, 9 players all out,
All
based on what
right.
he said.
And Stephen, the questions that I keep asking about what Paul Merson said earlier on, he said that Mauricio Pochettino need to keep that call, need to keep that starting 11, which maybe we might see Chelsea playing with a 4-2-3-1 formation, having Jackson up front, Ryan Sterling either on the
Jackson,
left
Sterling,
or
Palmer,
right.
Gallagher.
Gallagher, yeah, keep that formation. What's your thought on it? Do you think that he should keep that same style or just move on from there?
Nah, it's working, man. Why not? Let's do it. There's no reason to change it. We're scoring goals. Why change it?
Yeah.
That's the way I'm looking at it. And yeah, there'll be people that say 9-man Tottenham and all that. Tottenham beat 9-man Liverpool and celebrate like they won the Champions League, not like they know what that is. But the point that I'm making on that is that whether you want to say, oh, it was 9-man Tottenham, we still scored 4 goals when we've been struggling. We then played at home to Man City, the best team in the world currently, and scored 4 goals against them. And we was robbed in that game because we should have won that.
Yeah, it
So,
seems like Chelsea never get that
momentum.
credit they needed. It deserved.
Bro, I will say it, yeah. You see my avatar? It's got the
Yeah.
badge with the fire. Chelsea is
Oh,
starting to be that now. We're starting to cook. We're starting to be on fire now. We're starting to get a bit of momentum.
Phantom believed that Lavia signing was unnecessary. I don't think so. I don't think it was very, very unnecessary.
My
But
only
beginning the
response for
beginning,
now,
it will
just
be
quickly,
unnecessary now. But beginning of the season, it was very, very necessary, right, Steven? Because we
no,
didn't know
no,
the status of Gallagher. Go ahead, Steven.
I wouldn't say it was unnecessary. My question is, before I respond to it, I'd like to know the reasoning for why he thinks it's unnecessary. Before I say anything, I want to know the reasoning so I know what I'm specifically responding to for the reason of being unnecessary.
Perfectly well spoke.
Phantom, if you can get back to us on a reasoning for why you think it's unnecessary, I'll respond to it. But in short, I don't think it was unnecessary at all. I thought your camera frozen. I looked up for a second. I thought camera froze.
All right, camera is not frozen. Camera is right here. Camera
No,
is
it's
still
all good.
rolling.
It's all good.
Action. Action. All right, so we'll be looking at Mr. Kieran Trippier. How Kieran Trippier's performance have been so far, moving from Atletico Madrid to join, Newcastle, and he's been playing outstandingly. He's been playing very, very well, Stephen. His performance so far. How would you rate him as a captain so far, Stephen?
Yeah, I mean, he joined 2 years ago now, I think.
Yeah, it's been
Um
2 seasons now from Atletico Madrid.
no, he joined in the January. He joined January 22. We're going into January 24, so it's nearly 2 years. No, he's been good, man. I rate him, I really do. I like his versatility as well, the fact that he's able to cover the left back position as well if needed.
Yeah,
Um but yeah, I rate him, man. Honestly. I feel like I know we're talking about the Chelsea Newcastle game, but I feel like he's very unfortunate in terms of the England setup because of the other players we have in his position, and that's why he's been forced to adapt to play on the left hand side. But
yeah.
look, you think Lewis Hall's ineligible? They've got Tino Livramento as well, another former Chelsea, and I think that's basic. Wait, who else did they have? I think their other left back is injured. So yeah, I think we might see Livramento at right back and then Trippier at left back tomorrow. That would be my guess. But what was it last time? Oh, last time Lewis Hall was left back, but yeah, he's an eligible player. So yeah, maybe we see him at left back and then Livramento at right back.
Okay. All right, here I'm trying to share the screen for the Premier League fixtures this Saturday and Sunday, and we'll be going. You just going through it, Stephen. Stephen and I will go through the fixtures for tomorrow, and then fixtures for Sunday. So we'll be looking at this Saturday's fixture with Manchester City early kickoff against Liverpool, and I think that it will be a very, very difficult game going to Etihad. Although Liverpool haven't lose that many games, they are playing very well. I think they Liverpool. I mean, I don't know. I think Liverpool might win this to me, Steven. Liverpool looks like it's a team that can win this game against Manchester City. If Liverpool play their game and doesn't allow Man City to play their game, I feel like it will be a chance for Liverpool. Do you see other ways, Stephen?
No, I think Man City.
You think Man
I
City?
want to quickly see what was said about any potential injuries, but yeah, I think Man City is still win anyway because if
Well, from what
Haaland's
I
out,
know,
they've got Alvarez, and Alvarez is absolute class. So
is Haaland did not have a full training session today. But I don't know about
uh,
if he did not have a full training session, if he's going to start the game, or is he the guy going to start from the bench? I'm not so sure with
he's
that.
trained with Niggles, is what was said. I've just got it out now. He trained with Niggles.
Mm.
Today they were hoping he could play a part in training. Uh, Today we are in the last training. Hopefully he can play a part. Um, we have a few problems, like many clubs. They've not really revealed much in terms of injuries. Um, Liverpool, I'm quickly getting up because I'm on. When you click on the fixtures on here, if you go to related, you can see potential like injury news and stuff. Klopp hopes to have a full squad able to choose from, aside from long-term injuries. Gomez, Gravenberch, and Curtis
Yep.
Jones and Kanate have all trained, so they look like they're going to be back within this game or maybe next couple games. So yeah, looks like Liverpool is starting to get their players back just like we are. So I don't know. Maybe Liverpool can make a push and stay at Europe or not. I
Would
don't
you
know. I don't really
would you
trust
say
the fact that they've only got one DM.
would you say the signing of Alexis McAllister is not hasn't been a good signing, or do you think that they play him out of a wrong position? That's why he's not been performing that great.
Um, I'm not entirely sure. I think part of the issue is that they've got so many players who are wingers or attacking mids or can play both of those roles, and
Yeah.
they've only got one DM. So inevitably, no matter how they play, if they don't play Endo, there's got to be players in that midfield who are going to be out of position regardless. If that makes do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, I get what
Because
you're
they've
saying.
only got one DM. So if they're not playing Endo, at least one player's out of position at a minimum, if not
All right.
more.
So, Steven, there we go. We've looked at the big game in Manchester City and Liverpool, which will be taking place in the Etihad. Early kickoff. Guys, do not miss that game. Early kickoff. My time is 7:30. 7:30 a.m. by
12:30
my
in the
time.
UK.
12 in the UK. So, guys, keep your eyes on it. Keep your eyes on it. Then we'll be looking at the Burnley game. We'll be looking at Burnley versus West Ham United. Then Luton Town, Crystal Palace. West Ham United. I think that it might be a very, very difficult game for West Ham United to travel to that ground. Vincent Company and his guys have been struggling to come up with points, so I feel like this would be a draw game. Trying Company's team trying to come up with just 1 point from the West Ham United. West Ham United hasn't been that great in the Premier League, but they've been very good in in Europe, playing the European competition. So I feel like it's a time for Burnley to get a point out of this game. 1-1. That's what I'm thinking, Steven.
I'm back in West Ham. Burnley
Back
are
in West Ham.
yet to win sorry. Not only are they yet to win a game at home this season, they're yet to pick up a single point at home this season. They're the only team to not pick up a single point at home this season. And then in terms of away, West Ham have won 2 games away, drawn 7 points from a possible 18 points. So you're looking at nearly 1.5 points per game away from home, give or take.
Yeah.
But West Ham away from home, they've scored 10, they've conceded 13. Burnley at home have scored 4 and conceded 18. So I do think that Burnley are going to lose.
All
100%.
right, so Bentley, Stephen Phil Bentley will lose this game. But guys, if you're watching, if you have any prediction or any question regarding the topics or the content of the day, you can send it through the comment section below. And we're live, streaming live on two platforms at the same time. My name is Nate Zion, and you're live on Football Minutes Live, brought to you by Blue Clouds Media. And our viewers is right there. If you have any other questions besides what we already have, yes, I'll do. I'll Okay, I'll be on it to read all those questions for you, and then we'll give you our honest opinion. Yes, we'll give you our honest opinion. The next game we'll be looking at the Luton Town versus Crystal Palace, which I think that this will be a game for Crystal Palace to go to Luton Town and win that game, comfortably. Steven, you thinking otherwise?
See, where are you? The difference here is where I've used the home table for Burnley. Luton
Yeah.
have given big teams issues. They gave Liverpool a lot of issues when they played Liverpool, and that was at home as well. So I think they'll probably lose, but I don't think it's going to be hammering. I think it'll probably be single goal or they'll nick a point. They gave United issues away from home at Old Trafford as
Well,
well.
everyone's
They
going to give
literally played Liverpool and
United
United back
issues,
to back,
Steven.
and they had two very good performances.
Everyone should be able to give United issues. They're not playing well. Ten Hag hasn't even. We'll get to United. We'll get to United.
But
here
that's
soon.
what annoys me with United, though. I know we'll get to them because obviously they play later in the weekend. But we're playing well, and we haven't got the points we deserve. They're playing terrible, and they're getting points they don't deserve, and that's what annoys me so much. Because then you've got all the United lot going, "Oh, we're this high." It's like, right. But it's not all about results. Like, it's a results business, but you also have to look at it and go, did we deserve to win this game? Did we deserve to beat this team? No, you didn't. You've played terrible. The difference is they've got one or two players who can pop up with goals. And we're still only 5 points behind them.
Okay. Thank you very much. Stephen G will be moving on from Luton Town. The next one will be Newcastle United, a big game itself, which I'm going to highlight that one on the screen. Head to head. We'll look at head to head between Newcastle United. Last time I said it's been difficult for Chelsea to pick up points from St. James Park. Is it the time for us to get redemption, like I've named the topic today? Redemption, time for redemption. For Chelsea to go there and win comfortably against Newcastle United. Stephen G.
Are you looking for the stats?
Yeah, statistics is right there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the next one.
Head to head is right there. Head to head is on the screen, guys. If you're watching. Stephen, take us through it.
Yeah, so as you can see on the screen here, it does show up quite well actually when I go into full screen. 56 games played, 13 draws. Newcastle with 14 wins to Chelsea's 29. So Chelsea won just over double actually. Newcastle have won 13 games at home. Chelsea have won 9 away from home. Now, the reason I haven't said what Chelsea done at home is obviously because Chelsea are the away team here. So when it comes to reverse fixture, obviously I'll flip it entirely. But the main thing to focus on is that Newcastle's 14 wins, 13 of those 14 have come at home at St. James's Park. 9 of our 29 have come away from home. That's still good when you think about it. Because if they're winning 13 at home and we're winning 9 at their place, we're nearly matching them. That is impressive. Like, yes, we're a big team. Yes, they haven't had funding over the years. But that doesn't really matter to an extent because it's still a tough place to go. And they've still had some good players over the years that could always show up and stuff in the big games. And a lot of the lower teams do that. Like I was just putting emphasis on, look at Luton's last 2 games. I think it was their last 2 games, or it was 2 of their last 3 of United was their last game before the break. Luton gave them issues. The game before that was Liverpool, and they gave Liverpool issues. So the teams that you
Yeah,
wouldn't expect to always get a result do show up. And Newcastle haven't always had the funding under the previous ownership. So it's still impressive regardless to have 9 wins to their 13 when it comes to playing at St. James's Park.
very difficult ground. Very difficult ground. But then we have so much, like I said, we still have so much success over there, and we can still continue. But then, first time for Mauricio Pochettino taking Chelsea over there. Big up to you, Chelsea perspective. You Steve out. Big up everyone. Big up my brother. Big up to you, Chelsea perspective. Happy Thanksgiving, my brother, and then happy. I think this one is Phantom mini topic. He said it's all right. So Phantom, happy birthday, Phantom. Age 52. May you live forever, Phantom. May you live forever. Happy birthday to you, guys. If you have any
Happy
other
birthday.
questions coming in regarding the topic, yes, do me a favor, send them in, and then we can talk about it. Big up to you too, my brother. Honestly, do think we will win this one. Thank you very much. Yes, with all those injuries that Newcastle United are facing, definitely why not? Chelsea might take advantage. My only problem is, will Eddie Howe continue playing his style? Or will he change his style and go defensively this way, because he's lacking certain quality players in certain areas? So that is my only problem. So if Eddie Howe can fix that, then he can go toe to toe to Chelsea. I mean, with Chelsea. But if he does that, that is where Chelsea are very, very, very comfortable. He wants teams that will attack them and be able to play well. Chelsea have done that against Arsenal. I've done that against teams like Liverpool, Manchester City. We did the same thing. We played very well against Villa. We played very, very well against West Ham United and some other teams. But unfortunately, the finishing is still not there, and which we're still looking at it now. It looks like Jackson has got his momentum. He's got a hat trick. Who knew Jackson was going to get a hat trick? The guy who's been struggling to score even a goal, going ahead and score, I think, 4 goals within 2 games. That's impressive from the Senegalese
Against
international.
2 of the big teams as well.
Yeah. I think 3 goals from
Hat-trick
Tottenham,
against
then
Spurs and then 1 against City.
City. So that's impressive
By the way,
performance. Good statistics from him.
in the last 5 games at St. James's Park between the 2 teams, Chelsea have won 3 of the last 5 at St. James's Park. Newcastle have won 2. Newcastle won the last one 1-0. Chelsea won the 2 before that, 3-0 and 2-0 respectively. Newcastle won 1-0 before that, and Chelsea won 2-1 before that.
Yeah, like I said, happy Thanksgiving to everyone. Happy belated, happy past, whatever it is, yesterday. Thanksgiving to everyone. Thanksgiving to my brother, you just a perspective. I know probably you travel to Texas to enjoy it over there with the rest of the family. So nice. I mean, it was a beautiful day. Yesterday, I got a chance to watch so many football. I mean, American football. So many football. Yesterday's
There's
game
another
was
one on today as well.
another one today too. Black Friday. Yeah, guys. I think the Jets,
first
right?
ever.
The Jets and the Dolphins. Is it Dolphins and Jets?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, if you're a football fan, you can watch that game. Don't miss it. First ever Black Friday football. So guys, tune in for it. Tune in for it. Chelsea perspective said the Champions League has just stayed Newcastle. How can be they can be pragmatic if
How
he
can
chooses
be
to.
pragmatic if he chooses to, and if he decides to, it'll be a difficult
Yeah.
game for us. I'd like
So, yeah,
to
they
put this
can be-
out there. I always said from the beginning of the season, Champions League plus their squad depth, they were going to be in trouble.
Definitely. They think they had it all. They use all their energy to beat PSG at home. So they thought they were on the right path. Then there we are. We have Borussia Dortmund coming to St. James's Park, beat Newcastle. Then they went to Sydney Udrina Park and beat Newcastle also over there. They beat them very well. They outplayed them. They beat them here in England. Then they beat them in at their own backyard too, back and front.
The
Steven.
Newcastle lost to Dortmund, no?
Yeah, they lost to Dortmund at home and lost to Dortmund away.
Yeah, the way you worded it made it sound like Newcastle won in Dortmund.
No, they lost both games, home and away. But yeah, I get what you mean. I get what you mean. Okay. We'll move on from that game. Steven, let's just brush off real quick. Brush off. Um, I don't know. I don't think I have a squad. Let me see squad. This one's not going to give me the
No, that would
predicted
just tell you literally everyone who's in the squad.
In the squad today. Who's going to be missed on that day? Injury list.
No,
And all that.
literally a list like everyone that's registered.
Okay, so we've talked about that one. I think the other ones we'll talk about that later. We talk about Chelsea, Nottingham Forest, Brighton. I think Brighton will get a win from that. The number one top striker, which is Awani, whatever
he's out
Awani,
he's
out. Yeah, he's out right now. So, just out and out striker is out. So Brighton, I think Brighton will go over there and win that game 2-0. Brighton.
I hope Forest pull off a shock, though. I really hope Forest pull off a shock.
Let's see what will happen in that game. Sheffield United.
If we can win and Forest can win, that helps us. Yeah. So please, Forest, do us a favour.
Sheffield United, Bournemouth. Steven, this game I see to be a draw game.
Yeah, this one's going to be one of the more boring games of the weekend.
Very boring.
You've got Sheffield United who are 18th and Bournemouth who are 16th. So I don't expect much. Between them, they've scored 21 goals this season and they've conceded 58 goals. So whilst they've conceded a lot, neither team's really scored much. So it's not really like it's going to be a high-scoring game.
I believe you. Amaron is always tricky to handle. Amaron is always tricky to handle. Chelsea perspective said that I know, man. Amaron scored against Chelsea during the preseason competition, which we played. What was it? I think it was Atlanta FC. Yeah, it was within Atlanta FC football pitch. Amaron, very tricky. He can be a very, very dangerous player.
Yeah, it was there because of he used to play for them, and I remember like everyone was getting mad.
Yeah. I want to love you forever, Seda. And if you're new here today, please like the video, subscribe if you haven't already, and comment so we know you're here watching live today. Not a problem. Yes, if you're watching live, do us a favor, drop a comment, and don't forget to like the video. Thanks to each and every one of you that have already dropped a like on the video. Thank you very much. I want to love you forever. Thank you for spending time with you, and let me know how your Thanksgiving went. If you have any story you want to tell us regarding your Thanksgiving celebration yesterday, you can drop it here, and I'll be happy to read it out for you. So we'll move on from Sheffield United, Bournemouth. We will talk about Brentford, Arsenal, another tricky game. Brentford, Arsenal, another tricky game, Stephen. I see this to be Arsenal dropping point here.
That would be nice, to be honest. Brentford, they're impressing, man. Brentford impressing again. And it's one of those things, right, where, okay, they're sat in 11th, but everyone thought they were going to have a shocking season when the Ivan Toney ban happened. But look, they beat us, they beat West Ham, they beat Burnley, narrowly lost. Oh, no, they didn't narrowly lose. My graphic thing was wrong on that. They lost 3-0 to Liverpool.
It wasn't narrowly.
Narrowly lost to United 2-1, though. But this is what I'm saying, like, Buemo's really stepped up for them. Who else? There's a couple players, man. Buemo.
Buemo.
Like
and then
this has done decent as well.
Yeah, Risa, and then I think the what's the Jamaican defender? I can't always remember his name. He's also done it very, very good. Do you have a Jamaican defender?
Pinnock.
Probably, yeah.
Ethan
I'm
Pinnock.
sure that's what his name is. Yeah. So my prediction is Arsenal will be losing 1-0 to Brentford. What's your scoreline, Steven? Either
You know I
scoreline or
don't.
win or lose.
Um, I think a draw. I actually would back a draw in this one.
Tottenham Hotspur's Aston Villa. What I see Tottenham Hotspur's dropping another point here, Steven. That's how I'm feeling. I know Aston Villa has been playing very well. They're going to White Hart Lane, a very difficult place to go and play Tottenham Hotspur's, but it is not difficult for Chelsea. But I think that Aston Villa might nick a point there. Either a draw or because we've seen what Wolves did to Tottenham at the same White Hart Lane, isn't it? Or is it Wolves home? I think yeah,
Wolves were at
it was
home.
Wolves home. Yeah, but I don't know. Where do you see this game? I see Tottenham dropping points here.
Villa have won the last 2 games between the teams, by the way. If you
So
wasn't aware, Villa won the last 2 games. They beat them 2-1 in May, and then they beat 2-0 in January.
so
Um,
odds will be is he against Tottenham Hotspurs?
Maybe. I mean, I'm just quickly looking at the head-to-head now. Head-to-head, they've played 56, drawn 15. Aston Villa are 117. Tottenham have 124. Villa are 1-7 away from home. Tottenham are 114 at home. And now I'm just quickly trying to check the Tottenham team news. The website's loading up quickly now. I say that, and then it started to slow down. Here we go. A couple of fresh injury concerns for Spurs. Ashley Phillips, who's a centre back, got injured, out for a little while. Sars also got injured. Sars, one of the players, I'm not sure if you remember, when we were doing the preview, I said he's one of the ones that has really been impressive how Andrew's got him playing, because you would have expected him to be sold or loaned out in the summer, and he's got him playing really well. He's out of this game with an injury as well. So that's another one. But that's all it really says, is only really them 2 fresh ones. It doesn't say anything about any ones that they already had. But that's going to be a problem. Having no Papametasar is definitely going to be an issue. I don't know if Villa have any. I think Villa are okay in terms of injuries, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like that's a difficult game. I think it's 4th versus 5th as well. So obviously, in terms of the table, there's implications there as well. And I've already closed the other one. Yeah, so Aston Villa are 1 point behind Spurs. Spurs are 4th. I wish they were 14th. And Aston Villa are 5th. Both won the same number of games. Villa just got one more defeat than Spurs have. But Villa have better goal difference. So, yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's going to be a difficult game. Maybe another draw. Another draw, or maybe Villa nick it 1-0. I'll give
Ooh,
you a
Steven.
score on this one. I never
Okay,
do
drop it.
Chelsea
Drop it.
scores. You know,
We
I
got
never
two.
do
We got
Chelsea
two to go,
scores.
Steven. Let's drop it before we get to Mauricio Sarri. We're running out, Steven G. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
You drop
Huh?
you drop your line and score line already?
Yeah, I said I don't do Chelsea score lines, but I think it'll be a draw or a 1-0 Villa.
Outright to draw or 1-0 Villa. With the last two will be Everton, Manchester United. Two teams are struggling, but Everton is going to have a different momentum. We know they've suffered a 10-point deduction, which I think was very, very harsh. It would be better if they do it at the end of the season, or maybe earlier beginning of the season, so they know where they are. But to be honest with you, I think Everton will go through it, because the team that are bottom of the table are not doing any better, because Everton have ended at 10 points and still ahead of Luton Town and Burnley, right, Stephen? So they are trying to make.
Everton are 19th after their deduction. Like I said, I think that'll probably get reduced. I think that's a general consensus among all football fans, is that it get reduced. It was too harsh. And honestly, the thing is, they got a bit of momentum anyway in terms of they were starting to get a couple results here and there. The
Yeah.
issue that Man United have on top of that is not only have United been struggling in terms of their performances, but Everton have got 3 wins and 1 draw in their last 4 games. So they were really starting to pick up momentum. But now those players, them staff, and those fans are going to be right up for this now because of obviously they're going to feel hard done by getting that deduction as harsh as it was. So that's just going to be that extra motivation that they might need to take something away from this game. Not only you got the motivation of that, but you are starting to play well on top of that. I think they get something out of this game.
Okay. I want to love you. Thank you very much for your comments. Yeah, she said, unfortunately, I spent 12 hours, 12 and a half hours at work. Thankful I came home to my family, and I have a family from out okay, of town here too. I'm thankful every day for what we do have, and for being blessed. Okay, thank you very much for sharing your holiday activities with us here on the platform. Much appreciated. We're gonna move on from there, guys. If you have any holiday activity you want to share with us, you can, yes, drop it here. If only if you want us to know about it, you can drop it on the show, and I don't mind reading it. So we're gonna move on from the last one. Will be Fulham the Wolves. Fulham winning. Wolves are playing outstanding right now. Fulham are dropping down since the absence of Mitrovic. It's been very difficult for Fulham to start playing and start scoring more goals. But then I think that it will be Wolves will be too much of a handful for Fulham. Steven, it's gonna go. I can't predict the scoreline, but at this one I can say just the winner. Wolves will go to Fulham and win it. You have any other prediction for it, Steven?
Um, yeah, I think Wolves will probably get something. Wolves don't have a bad record away at Craven Cottage either. I'm just looking now. Fulham at home to Wolves have
Yeah,
played 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 games in the Premier League or the Championship. 12 if we include the FA Cup, right? Fulham have only
absolutely.
won 3 of those games. Wolves have won one, two, three, 4 of those games, and then the rest are draws. But that's worrying if you're a Fulham fan, in the fact that you should be winning your home games wherever possible. And I feel like Fulham and Wolves, for the most part, are always fairly close. Like, okay, Fulham got relegated, whatnot. But I feel like whenever they're in the Prem, they seem to always find themselves, for the most part, quite close together.
Yeah.
So, to me, if I was a Fulham fan, I'll be worried about that. I think Wolves have won more than double the amount of games that Fulham have in head-to-heads. So, again, it's not looking good for Fulham.
It's not looking good for Fulham. The last game, I think, yeah, that will be played on Monday anyway.
Yeah,
Two
Monday
games
night
will be
football.
played. Yeah, two big games. Sunday will be Tottenham Hotspur, Aston Villa, Everton, Man United will be played on Sunday. Then one game on Monday, which will be Fulham and Wolverhampton Wanderers. But the last thing we're going to talk about, Stephen,
Mhm.
Mauricio Sarri. Mauricio Sarri is in the news today. Ex Chelsea manager boss label Stamford Bridge exit as a big mistake. That's a big statement over there. And then um this main word being stated over here is mistake, and he has admitted that. Do you think what's your thoughts on that, Stephen? I feel like Chelsea wanted him to stay, but then he insisted he has to go back to Spain and work there. He said also
Yeah.
this said that he
You mean
was
Italy?
working in the team without what is he sporting director, which was putting so much
Yeah.
pressure on him, and that's why he left. What's your thought on that? if we had if you have Sarri now, or if Sarri would have been better to be there instead of having Lampard, Steven. I mean, give me your thoughts on that. Give me your thoughts on that.
I don't think many fans really wanted him to stay anyway. So maybe from his personal perspective, it's a mistake. He feels like he could have done more. But I feel like a lot of the fan base were quite frustrated with him, at least from going to games. That's the sense I got from a lot of people around me. It was very frustrating. In terms of a lot of it was let's go backwards about 20 times before we tried to go forwards. Like it was really, really annoying. And then I think we were playing a cup game against United. I think we were 1 or 2-0 down, and he went more defensive.
Yeah.
You're in a cup game at home and you're losing. Go more attacking. It's not difficult. I don't think he helped himself. I really don't.
With the Jorginho thing also.
Jorginho thing, I don't think it's a big deal. I never really rated Jorginho like that, but I don't really think you can hold that against Sarri because having someone who he's worked with before, it should help him. Look, he got us to Europa League. Thankful for that,
all
but
the time,
I don't think he was the right manager.
You and I know it's not all the time that having someone that you've worked with as a manager and a player, it's not all the time that it works out well. Some players have. It works for some players, but Eric Ten Hag would be an example. Yes, Eric Ten Hag would be one big example that it doesn't work that way. Look at the players that he brought in, the Malacias, the Anthony's, all from Onana's. Yeah, Onana's on all those players coming from Ajax to Manchester United, and it hasn't worked very well for them, isn't it?
Oh, no, it's in the net.
It was my name.
It's in the net.
All right.
Every day it goes through the hands. It
would be better for them to keep, what's his name again? It would be better for them to keep De Gea instead of bringing in.
He's still a free agent. Believe it or not, he's still a free agent.
I hear the Spanish clubs are talking to him, or even the Saudi clubs are talking to him. So we might see Onana. I mean, De Gea. De Gea is still good. He's still a good goalkeeper. Very, very good goalkeeper. Very, very good.
I feel like he made a lot of mistakes in the last couple of years, though.
But it's like you're trying to make him do something he's not used to doing. The same thing.
No, but I mean, in terms of like he made some silly errors that cost them goals.
He just like fumbled the balls and they go through his legs, or couldn't stop the ball. Well, the ball went.
I thought he was Rob Green at the World Cup. Through the legs.
Robert Green.
That was a game.
All right,
against the US? I think it was.
Was it US? That long ball, and then
2010. It went for. I think it was Rob Green in goal. Went for his legs.
Yeah, it was Green. It was Green.
Yeah, I think it was US 2010 World Cup, South Africa.
Yeah, Steven, you'll give us a sum up of the stream. We have 3 minutes to go, so we're gonna end it exactly at an hour. So you want to take a minute, wrap it up, whatever we discuss, and then we can bring it to an end.
Yeah, I could do. I mean, basically, we've touched on all the games this weekend, at least briefly. Obviously, focusing mainly on the Chelsea-Newcastle game. Touched on injuries, both Chelsea and Newcastle, where Nkunku and Lavia are at. We've just touched on Sarri as well. And yeah, basically going through the games of the weekend and touching on all that. I think you initially, I don't know what day you want to be back. Is it we're doing tomorrow or we doing Monday?
Yeah, we'll probably. I'm not so sure, but I'll keep you.
I feel like tomorrow will be difficult because it's an early start for you because it's like an 11 o'clock kickoff, isn't it?
Yeah, I'll see what my sleeping is like. If I can wake up and do the preview, guys will be definitely.
Let's say guaranteed Monday is normal, and if you're lucky, if you guys are lucky, you may get one tomorrow before the game.
Yeah, hopefully I can do it. It's all about the energy that I have. We're back from international break. We should be seriously bringing you guys all the content that you're waiting for. So yeah, and also get engaged.
Always, anyway.
Yeah. So, guys, thank you for being here today. I always say, it's been nice. So we've touched bases on players that will be returning. We've talked about Wesley Fofana, who will return probably before the end of the season. Happy days for Chelsea. And see, I want Fofana to be successful, but if he gets another injury, I'm writing him off. I'm writing him off, but I want him to be successful. Mauricio Pochettino is getting closer, having all his injured players returning. Let's see with all these players. I know it's going to be headache for Poch to get his best starting 11. He's getting there. He's getting there. Let's see what Nkunku can do. We've seen Nkunku and Mr. Nicolas Jackson during preseason, and the two combination, understanding of how they play. Maybe it might transfer it into our current season once those two play together. Should we keep consistency? What they say is if it's not broken, why change it? Guys, let this brand on Steven.
Hang on to hope.
I'm going to hope, guys. If you have any problem, do not worry so much about tomorrow, because tomorrow is already taking care of itself. Worry about today. You don't know if tomorrow is going to come or not. So yes, like I always say, lay the sprandons, hang on to hope. We'll see you guys again tomorrow. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to Blue Clouds TV. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Blue Clouds TV.